Hello everyone, it is I, Anime Input, and I'm here to welcome you to What If Deku Was Doctor Strange? Please make sure to subscribe to join me on the series of What If Deku Was Doctor Strange. I ended the last one just because it wasn't getting as much, and someone asked me if I could do a What If Deku Was Doctor Strange. I'm doing that. If you guys have a what if you want me to do, please make sure to leave that in the comments. Anyway, let's get in the video. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing What If Deku had, Doctor Strange's powers. Now, this is going to be a tiny bit of a different one. No, it's not going to be a quirk. He's actually going to have them. He's going to have the the Cloak of Levitation, and the Eye of Agamotto. We're going to jump in without a further ado. We start off with a young boy and his mother being at the Quirk Doctor. The young boy profusely turning to his mum and saying, Mum, what do you think my quirk will be? Will it be a strong one? What do you think it will be? And his mum would every time turn back and say, probably a mix of mine and your father's, or a better one. Maybe you could control fire, or you could lift things if they've got fire on them, or something like that. As the boy would say, wow, that's so cool. As they go into the Quirk Doctor calls out, Azuku Midoriya, as they walk in, and the doctor runs a few tests, and says, look, I'm sorry kid, you're quirkless. As the young boy is crying non-stop, as the mum says, oh, it's okay Azuku, how about we go out and we can get some ice cream from your favourite shop? And he's like, really? And he's like, okay, we'll go then, let's go. As they're walking out, a man runs by and somehow just turns to Izuku's mum, and all these black lines just connect to her, and it looks like she gets drained and then drops to the floor dead. If you've seen Doctor Strange, you'll know this man as Caecilius, a follower of Dormammu from the Dark Dimension. As Doctor Strange, or a man in a red cloak and this weird looking eye necklace shaped on his neck, comes running after him as he sees the limp body on the floor and a child standing next to it, just on the ground crying. As he runs by and says, what's wrong? As the kid looks up at him and says, a man ran by and he killed her. As Doctor Strange realizes he could chase after him, but he might be long gone by now. He should probably just stay and take care of the kid. We have a time skip of one day, as Doctor Strange has taken him to the hospital, and they find out that all of his other family can't take care of him, and his father's on a really long business trip, or at least that's what they know at the moment. So Doctor Strange decides to adopt the child, going through all the necessary paperwork, collecting the stuff from home, and takes the child into the kindergarten, and everyone's like, wow, Deku, what quirk did you get? As that's what Bakugo said. Everyone else praising over Bakugo's quirk because he's got such cool, good quirk, explosion. And Deku says, I'm quirkless, and everyone starts making fun of him. And then Bakugo says, well, why? What's wrong? And he's like, my mum's dead. As Bakugo goes, wow, really? And he's like, yeah, a person ran by and just killed her. As he says, so this nice man, weird looking though, came by and he said he'd take care of me, so I'm moving. And Bakugo looks back and says, wow, how far? And he's like, too far to come back here. As Bakugo looks sad, as the man walks in with the red cloak and says, come on Izuku, it's time to go. As he opens a portal using the sling ring, and they jump through to the place where Doctor Strange learnt Kamor-Taj. Now, we have Deku wandering around in the place randomly looking at all this different stuff, and he goes to touch something as Doctor Strange is walking by and says, no. As Deku touches it, a ginormous thing just spreads out and goes to explode. But Doctor Strange puts his hands on his chest and transforms them, doing some weird hand formations, and then it closes and goes back to being small. Uh, Obviously, people that know what he did, he used the time stone. As Deku looks back and says, "Whoa, that was cool. I want to do that." And she's like, "Hmm." And Doctor Strange looks back and says, maybe you could. What? Do you have a quirk?" As he's like, "No, I don't have a quirk. I'm quirkless." As Doctor Strange looks back and says, "Yeah, that sucks. Then, yeah, you could learn it." We have a time skip of about 1 week when Deku's finally settled in, and Doctor Strange comes in and says, "Well, you wanted to learn how to do what I did. We're gonna have to start with from the very beginning." As Deku says, "And what's that exactly?" As Doctor Strange looks back and Doctor Strange looks at him and says, "Here, I'll read this book to you." As he starts, and we go into a little vision in Doctor Strange's head showing what's happening. A long time ago, way before quirks had ever happened, there was an ancient thing, magic, if you will. People, sorcerers, the sorcerer supreme, mostly would protect the world and keep it out of danger. But then quirks started to arise. These things that most people that knew magic ruled their quirks stronger than magic, so they stopped learning magic or just didn't use it anymore. But for the few followers that still did, or the few that wanted to learn, mostly the quirkless, was learning magic. But one time, someone with a quirk came to learn magic, and people with quirks aren't able to learn magic. So this person went to learn magic, and just from everything, the records, everything disappeared. Now, we go back to Doctor Strange closing the book and says, "Well, let's get to it." And we have a time skip of a few years until Deku's around about 12, going to high school near the Camotage place. And at this point, Deku knows how to use his sling ring. He always has one on him, and basically that's all. The whole problem with Dormammu and everything is already dealt with. The Sorcerer Supreme, the ancient one, she's dead, like already. And we have Doctor Strange in the hospital. In the Camotage Palace area, as Deku comes back from the school one day and walks in and sees, or at least his dad, or at least that's what he calls him, lying on the ground. He's had a heart attack, but no one was there, and now he's dead. As the cloak of levitation slowly lifts up off his back and jumps on Deku. As the sling ring, not sling ring, the cloak of levitation had also grabbed the eye of Agamotto, tying it around his neck. As Deku's crying about what happened to his dad, a group of bad people, like basically Caecilius and all of his followers, run in, and Deku, quickly, without thinking, opens a portal to Tokyo, where he used to live, and jumps through. Lands in the middle of a family dinner of a group of random people. As this has been 12 years, the house is sold. A group of random people, the portal closes, and he's like, hi, I guess? As everyone looks at him like, what the hell? This kid came out of nowhere! Is that his quirk? But wait, why is he in here? As he quickly jumps out of the door and runs right out to one of the only spots he knew, or at least somewhere around the spot that he thought Bakugo was still living. Near the spot where Bakugo is still living. And he runs into where... Sorry, my dog keeps barking. She's barking outside. I'll keep continuing. If she keeps doing it, I'll go out. And he runs into the house, seeing Bakugo lying on the couch watching some TV. As Deku's like, Katsuki? As Kachan sits up and says, "Deku!" As he's like, "Katsuki!" As they both run in and give each other a hug, embracing each other, because they haven't seen each other for a while, and they're going to be friends in this, as Bakugo didn't establish that really bratty attitude towards Deku, because Deku was never there, and he just felt sad because Deku wasn't there. As he asks Deku what's happened, and he explains everything, how he learnt magic because he was quirkless, and all that. Now we end up with Bakugo's mum taking him in as Deku's lost too many family members or parents or guardians, as you will, over the years of what's been happening. And honestly, not one boy could take that much in. And he's only like 12, 13-ish. As we have him take him in, and he ends up going to the same school as Bakugo. As we have the teacher walk in and says, "Hello, students. Today I'm going to need you to take your career aptitude tests." So, as he throws them up in the air, looks wild at all the kids and says, "Who am I kidding? I know you all want to go the hero route." As he grabs out a pamphlet or a sheet from his pocket. We actually have one of our very own wanting to go to UA. Bakugo. As everyone starts whispering, yeah, he'd get in for sure, with a flashy quirk like his. As we have a moment of Deku remembering back to when the first time when he saw Bakugo using his quirk, and feeling a bit sad. As on the way out, we have Bakugo running home the normal way, and Bakugo says, "Hey Deku, wanna follow me? Let's go, I'll take you home." As Deku says, "No, I'm fine. I'm gonna go walk by my house. I just something I want to clear up." As he's walking in a tunnel, a sludge villain jumps out of the manhole and says, "Flesh body, you'll be perfect for me to hide in. I didn't know he'd be here." As he jumps in, Deku puts both of his hands out, puts two fingers out and the other one, and opens a portal the moment as the sludge villain jumps through. And as he jumps through, he closes the portal with half of his head being cut off. Now the sludge villain obviously isn't dead because he's made out of sludge, so it's just this really small head. As he goes to jump into Deku's mouth, All Might jumps and says, "Traxxas smash!" and smashes the sludge villain all over the walls. And he says, "He's a lot smaller than I remembered." As Deku says, "Hey, I think I remember you from somewhere." As at the place where Deku learnt Kamortage, they didn't have internet, so he couldn't remember. And he's like, "Kid, what do you mean, you think? I'm the #1 hero, All Might. Like, come on, you can't just forget me. I'm famous and everything." As Deku says, "No, not ringing a bell." As, All Might just looks back and says, "Wow, you're special, aren't you, kid?" As he starts collecting the sludge villain and says, "Hey, do you know where the other half went?" And he's like, "Yeah." "Where?" "Antarctica." What do you mean?" "I have a No, I just have a portal quirk." As Deku not wanting to explain to everyone how the magic works. And she just says he has a portal quirk. And everyone, sorry, not everyone, as All Might looks at him and says, "Huh." As he remembers, eventually he does remember All Might, as he went to jump off and he's like, "Oh crap," grabs onto his leg, unknowingly knocking out the bottle of sludge from his pocket. As neither of them know, All Might's like, "Hey kid, get off my leg!" As Deku looks back and says, "I can't just hop off your leg, I'll die!" As All Might starts shaking his leg, so Deku opens a portal in front of All Might and lands them on a building. As All Might looks back and says, "Hey, how'd you do that?" As he's like, "My quirk, remember? A portal quirk?" He's like, okay, never mind." As All Might is a bit curious about this kid, but realizes his time's about to end up, and he's like, as Deku looks back at him and says, "All Might, no, I just remembered who you are. Do you think you could sign my notebook?" As Deku goes to hand him his notebook, All Might says, "Yeah, sure." Coughs out a bunch of blood, turning into his Small Might form. Now, Deku looks at him and is like, "Wait, you're not All Might?" As All Might looks back at him and says, "Yeah, kid, I am All Might." I explains to him how he had the injury fighting All for One, and all that. At the end, he does sign Deku's notebook and goes to go off. Unknowingly, he knocked out the bottle of sludge. They hear an explosion in the back, outside, really far away, near one of the buildings. As Deku immediately thinks about Bakugo's explosion, and All Might thinks, better go check that out. As he opens the door, starts walking down the stairs, and shuts the door. Deku opens a portal and jumps through immediately, noticing that the sludge villain had somehow regained a bit of its body mass, trying to claw into Bakugo's mouth, but a big crowd standing out as Deku opens another portal, getting right near the sludge villain, and using one of the portals to suck it in and just leave it, the rest of it in the Antarctica, not knowing what's happened. As Bakugo looks at him and says, "How the hell did you get here, magic Bakugo? Stop being loud." As he's like, "Oh, okay." As he looks back at Deku and says, "Hey, Deku, weren't you wearing like a cape and a weird eye thing on you before?" As he's like, "Wait, my, oh, my," as when he was flying on All Might, they had just fallen off along with the sludge villain, as All Might was on his way back, found them and picked them up and thought, didn't the kid have these? As he walks over to the commotion and everything was already cleaned up because Deku just got in fast and pulled the sludge villain into a portal. As Deku's on his way back to his house, All Might jumps out in front of him and says, "Hey kid, aren't these yours?" And he's like, yeah, they are." As All Might says, "Thought so, here you go." As he's like, "All Might, do you think I could become a hero?" As All Might replies with, "I do think that this is going to be the end of the video. Please make sure to subscribe, and we will have part 2 out tomorrow. For some of you people, that's today, because I'm filming this late. Anyway, peace out, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye."